Before Jesus, I was a little bit anxious and was a little bit of a worrywart. Being a little bit anxious, I'd get stomach aches. Could be little things, big things. Jesus and I would go to the living room, we would do praise and worship, and then we would divide guys and girls. It just so happened to be that one day that nobody was there. It was just me and Tiffany. I finally got the guts to talk to her. I was ready to take that step to accept Christ into my life. I felt changed pretty quickly. I didn't have the stomach aches anymore. I'm sure I still worried from time to time, but it wasn't as much as I was before. A year ago, I went through cancer. I felt everyone's prayers. I don't think I could have done that without him.
On Christmas Eve 2020, I caught COVID. I had the symptoms of COVID. I went to Holmes January 2nd. I blacked out somewhere in mid-January and stayed in that coma until I woke June 21st, 2021.
Watch him wake up after all that time. It's a miracle.
Record numbers of people from our church and our personal life.
They wanted to witness the miracle.
Took months to get those muscles back. Members at the church had put a meal train together. The prayers, that's all love.
That's Jesus' love.
20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Florida, got a new primary doctor. He said, well, you're 50-some years old. You need to go get, all the tests that you're supposed to get with 50 years old. Doctor told me that about a quarter to half of my stomach was filled with tumor, diagnosed as a type 1 cancer. Through it all, people always covered me in prayer. Every endoscopy was successful. Every endoscopy went without problem. 2 years ago was my first year without finding a tumor. Praise to God that the stomach and the tumors are away and gone, and there we are.
He's had a lot of different health issues. He went into AFib. The doctor had told us that he had severe cardiomyopathy. They wanted to do a pacemaker. He passed out right in front of the fellowship hall. I thought, oh, he's leaving us. He had to go to the hospital, and he did have a brain bleed. John had cancer, which was a really scary time. Our small group, prayed over him and laid hands on him. And then we had gone to church that Sunday, and one of the members of the church had anointed him with the oil
that she carried in her purse all the time.
Yeah, and today we can say John is cancer-free and his heart's doing well, and it's just been quite a journey.
My husband and I went through a miscarriage. We, at that point, had 3 beautiful children, and we found out the news that we were going to have a 4th. Through the process of a couple different ultrasounds, we realized that it wasn't going to be a happy ending. Left me with a lot of questions of why. Like, why are we going through this? You pray, right? You pray, and that's what gets you through all of it, is the prayer. In that year, I've met my best friend. She was losing her pregnancy, and we got our rainbow baby. He helped me get through it so I can help them get through it.
We were so excited about our first pregnancy, and it was extremely heartbreaking the way it ended. Though it was heartbreaking, we did rely on Jesus. Obviously, it felt dark knowing that our baby was with Jesus. It helped to get us through that. 1 month later, we found out that we were pregnant with our daughter.
It's so hard going through loss and leaning on God's understanding. In the moment, you're just like, why? Why me? As you can see now, we're blessed with an amazing daughter, and she definitely lights up our world. And it's definitely God's blessing.
Losing my daughter was one of the hardest things I ever been through in my whole life. She was 15 when she passed. Faith Fellowship Church and the Academy they stood by me every step of the way. I have 7 years of sobriety. I always had Pastor Ann and Pastor Jeff support me. That's how Jesus works in my life. Sometimes I stray away a little. Something always happens that I come right back.
Things were really hard while I was taking care of my grandma, and I started drinking heavily. It just got so out of control. I started to realize this is killing me. I was really trying to ask God, please help me. 6 months ago, there were some things that had happened that week in my life that just really shook me. I've been trying my hardest to quit drinking for a long time, really begging God to please save me. I felt him call me daughter. I feel like my strength now is just limitless because I know that I have God with me. Now I'm yoked to Jesus.